What's going on, guys? So what I've got here is the catalyst wrapped inside of its Brewjacket, if you will, and then I've got the main device up here. I've gone ahead and disconnected the power supply. I'm basically going to show you on me dismembering this thing so we can put the beer in the keg. But to basically say the least, this thing held my fermentation temp perfect. It heats and cools the beer, so if it gets too far below fermentation temp, it will actually heat up by pulling hot air from outside and putting it into the wort, and it works opposite by pulling the heat out. And I can get 35 degrees below ambient at the most. I had this fermenting at 67 degrees. If you take a look at my footage here, basically I just had it sitting in my room. I know it's sitting on carpet, but it did the job. It kept its temp, and anytime it started to get too hot, it would kick on the fan and it would get it back down pretty quick. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the jacket off and look at our beer. I had to dry hop it, so there's that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this jacket off. Basically, you don't have to take the jacket completely apart to get it off. You just need to separate the bottoms if you're using a conical like I am. And I'm just going to open the top up some, just like so. And I should be able to just pull it straight off. Like so. So there we have it. We have our beer ready to be transferred to my keg. I got a lot of yeast build up here still, but not too worried about it. It'll settle out in the keg anyways. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to close my valve here so I'm not disturbing too much of the yeast in the jar. And I'm gonna hook up my hose to my sampling port here, and into the keg it goes. So let's get to it. Go ahead and hook my hose up to the sample port, bottling port, whatever you want to call it. Just like that. Put the other end inside my keg to the very bottom so there's no splashing. And the other thing is I'm going to pop the airlock off the top so air can come in and fill the void here. And I don't get any sanitizer sucking into my keg. Let it rip. You'll see there's a lot of yeast at first, but should clear out. I really should have changed this jar twice and I didn't. I really didn't think I would need to, but hey. Apparently I did need to change it, but no big deal. Like I said, that yeast will pull out in like the first pint or so, and I'll have pretty clear beer coming out of that keg. So while that's doing that, I'll show you something else here. I'm going to go ahead and pop the probe off the back side of this. I just had it taped in place with some painter tape so it wouldn't be too sticky on the fermenter. And I'm just going to pull this straight up out. If I can get it going here. Just pull the Brewjacket out. Alright, what I'll do is I'll take this and wash it later. But yeah, that's it, that's the rod. So as my fermenter is emptying, you can see the Brewjacket worked really well. This will probably be my best temp controlled beer ever, because historically I've always used ice bottles and I've rotated them out. And you know with ice bottles, as the bottles warm up, you kind of lose that, you got a lot of fluctuation in your temp. With the Brewjacket, I felt very confident that it was keeping my ale temp in place. And actually I'm touching this fermenter right now and it's a pretty chill, like it stayed about 67 degrees. So I'm very happy. And the probe actually monitors the outside temp of your fermenter, so you can probably figure it might be a degree off and actually a degree cooler inside the fermenter. I'm not sure I would have to do some experiment to find out how much cooler the wort is inside the catalyst versus outside the catalyst. But anyways, I'm impressed. I will be using this thing a lot in the future. I'm not the kind of brewer that keeps like 6 or 7 carboys in line full of beer. I brew a batch at a time, and right now I've got plenty of beer, and I'm not sure when I'll brew again. But this beer was actually brewed National Homebrew Day, so check out the footage to National Homebrew Day in my other video once I get it posted. But this has been great, worked excellent. I'm very excited about it. I'm hoping it lasts. Seems pretty basic engineering wise. Just a heat exchange unit really. And it cooled down about a degree every couple of hours. It would drop in. So I didn't actually pitch my yeast until I was at ferment temp. I just let it sit in there and get cool, and then when it was time to pitch the yeast, I just simply lifted the little, tossed the yeast in there, and we were ready to go. So anyways guys, thanks for watching. The Brewjacket is an awesome device if you feel like scrounging up the money to get one. But I'm very impressed. Cheers.